A mixed bag at the weekend, but there was at least a couple of decent tests. My name is Mark, let's talk rugby. Okay, so there's 5 tests at the weekend. We're going to go down through them in chronological order, starting with New Zealand 16, England 15. So this is Marcus Smith. He misses what looked like, honestly, a gimme kick for him, at goal early on. He didn't have the best, day at the office from the tee, but neither 10 really for either of the teams was that great off the tee. Mackenzie then, though, with a lovely crossfield kick to Sebo Rees, and he goes over to score. Cunningham said then goes close for England before Toji forces his way over. Then Perofita, he slips the tackle of Ben Earl and puts Sabea over in the corner. Earl won't be happy with his tackle technique in that one, and the fact that he fell off it. Smith then makes it 10-all at the break with a penalty. Then second half, he scuffs an early shot at goal, left and wide. Freeman then, England attacking, almost wriggles free to score. Stopped just short. England recycle a number of times. Then they go wide, and Smith puts Faye Woboso over to score in the corner. Conversion missed, but England now leading. England then ping for sealing off the ruck, and Mackenzie pops the penalty over. New Zealand back within 2 points at this stage. England then not rolling away, and Mackenzie slots another one, and that proves to be the winning kick. 16 points to 15, just a 1 point margin between the teams, but for New Zealand it's a win. England came very close but couldn't get there in the end, but I felt they did really well with that response after going behind, but they needed another score after Faye Wabosi's try just to give them a little bit of breathing room. And then, the fact that they didn't get that meant they were on the back foot and then conceded those penalties that ultimately lost the game for them. And it feels like, a chance missed at a famous win, but a lot of positive to be taken out for England. They've gone from a team who kind of looked a little bit directionless, rudderless, and since that performance against Ireland in the Six Nations, you can see that there's much more belief in this group on the direction they're heading now, and you can see that they're definitely making strides forward. For New Zealand, the Scott Robertson era gets off to a winning start. Mackenzie looked good at 10, but kicking off the tee might be an issue, unless he can improve that. And I think that's the worry, is that they need someone in the team who's going to kick the points, because it's not always going to work out their way, if they're leaving points out there. But hopefully we're going to see Mackenzie getting, an extended run at 10 for the team, because it's so tempting just to give, hand that guy the 23 shirt and feel like you've got everything covered from the bench. So we'll see how that goes with him. Next week, I think, should be a decent contest between these two. Next time we have Australia 25, Wales 16. So Ben Thompson, he's given the start at 10 for Wales, and he opens the scoring from the tee. Then Lola Seo squares it up after Liam Williams gives away a penalty right in front of the post. Australia then absolutely monster Wales in the scrum, and Olaseo pops the penalty over to put Australia in front. And then Australia, they're battering away at the Welsh line, and Tupou forces his way over, just too strong and too big for them to stop from such close range. Wales line out maul, then edging closer and closer to the Australia line. When it's collapsed illegally, it's a penalty try, and means that Australia have a narrow lead at the break, 13 points to 10. Thomas then squares it up from the tee early in the second half. Then Filippo Daugunu just sails through a gap, tackled well short of the line, but momentum sees him slide over the line to score. Very slick surface there, because the guy was, I don't know how many, like 3 or 4 meters short of the line or something when he gets tackled, and still manages to slide over for the score. Wales then have a maul try rightly chalked off for obstruction. One of these ones where one of the players, basically got in front of the ball carrier and obstructed. And then Thomas then sneaks a penalty over, just about, like, goes in off the post. And then Tom Wright scores just a worldie of a kick, like from a kick return. Fantastic try from him. Definitely worth checking that out if you don't check anything else out from this game. Line of converts full time then was 25-16 to Australia. So Wales, that losing streak continues. I'm still not sure that Gatland is the man to turn Wales around. The guy has a fantastic record, but they do say never go back. And for me, I'm not sure I'd ever want any of the successful Irish coaches from the past to come back as head of the national team again, even the likes of Joe Schmidt, because it just feels different that second time around. The team, especially the way like Gatland left and it wasn't for too long and then they come back, because they would have obviously been trying to move away from his way of doing things, and then suddenly he's back and you've got to revert things back in there as well. So but gotta say, he's still got a fantastic record from the first time around. I think that's going to buy him enough time, and maybe because of that, results are going to pick up, and we are going to see, going to see him actually turn this team around. Because I don't think anyone else in there probably won't get as much rope as he's going to get. And he's got that credit in the bank. You have to say it, but. Whether ultimately it's going to, work out for them, it's kind of watch the space at the minute. Australia then, to get themselves a win, and, that will be a big shot in the arm for them, because both these teams, definitely have been on a downward trajectory in recent years. They played some good rugby, and, their scrum is strong again. Their scrum was very good. Going into the World Cup as well. And, that's one thing that, Australia in the past would have said, scrum would have been a problem for them. But for the last, I don't know how many years, 5 years or more, they've had a very decent scrum. And it's a good platform because you can see they have the talent in the backs there as well. So if they have that solid platform to attack, you can see that, Joe Schmidt is going to do some good things with his team. The way, I think, given the players' natural talent and the way that he's able to bring structure to things like that as well, I think it could be a really good match for them. And, the only thing though is they're definitely going to have to definitely need to improve before the rugby championship. I think that's going to be a step up for them from this test series, I feel. And this first test, little bit of a cripple fight, honestly, with two teams kind of in the doldrums. And it should be a better one next week though, I think, because Australia are going to have that confidence from the win, and Wales with a point to prove as well. Going out there, they won't want to lose both tests, so going to give it a real go, I think, next week. Next, then we have South Africa 27, Ireland 20. So there's a full review of this on the channel if you want to go watch that, if you want more in-depth stuff on that. So South Africa, very slick attacking move. Khaleesi sending Arons away. Nice step from him, and over he goes to score. Pollard then with a couple of penalties to one from Crowley before Sheehan offloads out the back to Lowe, who just about stays in touch long enough to offload to Osborne to score in the corner. Lowe then goes herring down the left wing after Ireland turned the ball over and goes over in the corner. That's chalked off because Kelleher played the ball on the floor in the ruck previous. Lowe then does absolutely amazingly well to keep a Pollard kick to touch in play. Unfortunately, it breaks for Cheslin Kobe. He kicks ahead and then wins the race to dot the ball down. Ireland then cut South Africa open from a dropout return. Beelan puts Kelleher through a hole. He draws the cover and puts Murray under the post. Lowe's error then gives South Africa a 5-metre scrum. Basically played a kick that looked like it was going dead and should have just left it. Would have been a scrum back to Ireland on the halfway. South Africa then destroy Ireland in the scrum, and it's a penalty try. Finally then, Nash finds Lowe. He puts Baird over in the corner. And, final score, as said, was 27 points to 20. South Africa definitely deserved winners. Number of injury worries for Ireland, going into the second test, including Casey, Henshaw, Osborne and Sheehan. So not sure we're going to see any of those guys turning out next week. Ireland definitely going to need to reduce the error count to have any chance in the second test. When they click, they look really good, but just, those moments were few and far between in that first test. So definitely going to have to, as I said, cut out those errors and step it up a level as well. For South Africa, brilliant defensive effort, got the better in the set piece battle, especially in the scrum, created, one really good score early on and then pounced on Ireland's mistakes as well. And these guys, they're not the world champions and world number one for nothing. Next week, hopefully going to be another cracker. Then we have Argentina 13, France 28. So, penalty each early on, 3-all. Then Serene, he breaks, puts in a grubber kick, kicks on again, tackle about the ball, but still manages to dot the ball down to score. 10-3 to France at the break. Then Frisch powers his way over to score after receiving a nice offload about 10 metres out. Nice debut try for the former Munster man there. Astoy then lands a 50-metre penalty. Argentina, clever move from a 5-metre line out to score in the corner. Then Atis Sogbe spins his way over to score. Looked like he was going to be tackled a couple of times, but ended up on the try line. Great strength from him there to force his way, ride those tackles and get over. Then mistake by France on a kick through. Basically, I didn't see who it was, but they knocked the ball back over their own try line, and then Orlando gets there to score the try, and that was the final score. Then Argentina 13, France 28. A lot of mistakes in the game, but two teams feeling like France with a lot of new players, Argentina looking a bit rusty. Argentina, they did look second best for much of the game, but it wasn't a fluid performance from either team. Young French team, going to be happy with the win, but plenty for them to improve on, certainly. And then I think the big news is Jaminet with his racist rant. Hopefully he gets, suitably punished for that. No place for that, in rugby, whether he's saying it on his social media or wherever he's doing it. It's just not on. Next time we have Canada 12, Scotland 73. So Canada, they drive over from Maul for the opening try through run ball, and got to be very happy there. They knew it was going to be a hard day at the office, but at least they got the opening score. Then good hands from Scotland as they responded with a Bayless try. Patterson then sells a dummy to break the line, and he sends Richardson over under the post. Richardson gets his second then at the back of a maul. Patterson then with a lovely offload, and Reid is in for a try. Ward then snipes over for Scotland's second from close to the line. Then tap penalty from Canada. Run ball. He goes close, then it's recycled, and Bailey gets over to score their second try. Then a well-worked move from Scotland, and War, just a really nice supporting line from him, getting in behind there, and he collects a pass to go over to score his second. Reid then, with good pace and nice footwork for the next try for Scotland. Dobie offloads to Patterson, who gets over for a try of his own. He was setting up a lot of the tries earlier on. Dobie then gets himself a try as well. Scotland just cutting Canada open at will at this stage. McDowell with a step close to the post and then just goes in under those posts. Healy offload, that puts Steyn over for the final try of the game. 11 tries to Scotland. Canada 12, Scotland 73. So Canada, would have been happy certainly to get over for that opening score, but it was all, one-way traffic for pretty much most of the game. Scotland blooding plenty of debutants, ran up a big score, going to definitely build confidence for those players. The question then is, how many of these boys are going to make it into Scotland's Six Nations squad next season? Okay, so that's a look back at the weekend's tests. We'll have a preview of South Africa-Ireland's second test when we have the teams out, so probably on Thursday or Friday, depending on when they do come out. And if I have time, I might preview some of the other games, maybe England, New Zealand. Again, it depends on time. So, and then we'll see what we can cover over the weekend as well, because I'm working at the weekend, which means that I'm not going to be able to watch the early games. So it's going to be tough to kind of cover them, because I love watching the rugby live. I don't like knowing the score and then trying to go in and do a review of a game, having knowing the result, because I think that really does affect how I see the game if I know who's won already, and it's very hard to avoid scorelines as well in this day and age. As always, though, big thank you to everyone who's been watching and commenting on the videos recently. It's a massive help to the channel, and as always, I do feel really humbled that you guys, taking your spare time to watch stuff that I put up. I think that is absolutely amazing. And again, a huge thank you to you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.